Yo, what's up? It's your boy MYC. Welcome to my movie review of Superman the movie, the very first, big kind of superhero movie, before Batman, before Spider-Man, before this and this and this. There was this movie. This movie we have Christopher Reeve, we have Richard Donner, we have Margot Kidder, we have Gene Hackman. We got a lot of good, great actors and actresses. So the thing about this film is that it does go through the about a good majority of the origin of Superman. Alien, baby, Krypton destroyed, go to Earth, and then picked up by Jonathan, and Martha Kent. And after that, he goes from baby, little kid, teenager. I have never seen this movie beforehand. I can't lie, but when I saw this movie, I was surprised how much it went over Superman's origin. And I do like how um, everything was just orchestrated and everything was very cohesive. Once you go through the origin, Daily Planet, Clark Kent, you take the glasses off, and then you freaking have the Superman, and then you freaking have the freaking Superman stuff. So once you have that, and then you freaking get into the main film with Superman, Lex Luthor, who is amazing in this film in my opinion. You have Margot Kidder, who plays an amazing Lois Lane. You have you don't need to do that much in this movie. You just need to showcase Superman, because this movie is like a showcase in my opinion. It showcases how this movie can look. What's the freaking headline? A man can fly, something like that. I probably could look it up, but still. Before this, there was Adam West, Brandon Reeve, rest in peace. Even though I think something with Brandon Reeve about pedophilia, but I don't know. But in terms of them, that was that. And then this movie is a this movie is a revolution, not revelation. Revolution. Revolution. This movie is a big revolution. So with this one, it's like, okay, once you have a movie like this, then it branches off and to like, oh wow, they can have a lot of movies like this. Hence the reason why they have like three sequels, one good, another not so good, and then the fourth movie. And then you have Batman, you have those movies, you have Superman, Batman, and then you have other characters coming out, not just in Marvel, or not that just in DC. So what this movie has, it has a really good, well told story, amazing acting, amazing. It looks amazing. It's 1978, but it looks great. It looks amazing. Like even with the CGI, I feel like most of it is wiring CG, but the overall craft of this whole thing is amazing. Definitely, I do like how everything is just filmed. Everything is choreographed. This is not a bad movie at all. No, and even with things like you have the villain like Luthor's, like it's the first one, so later on there'll be like Zod and then Lex again, and then you bring in freaking Supergirl as well. But even with that movie, it's like for all these movies, this one, from what I've seen, this one's probably the best of those Superman movies. This one is like, it's such a classic, such originality. Even though it's a Superman, movie, it still feels great. One thing I love is how the film has such a nice tone, a great tone. Like I do want to see this tone again, but maybe a little bit differently. But apart from what we could see later on, this movie does have a really good story with Superman and Lex Luthor. It's just the first of their battles together. It's just the first one. But I do like how you have Superman. Of course, he has his powers. This movie is a showcase of Superman. It just shows you what he can do, his abilities. He can fly. He's indestructible. He has heat vision. He has a freeze breath. Thankfully he doesn't have these weird Superman powers in Superman 4 where you can freaking look at a wall and then freaking make it build bricks when it's broken, and then they can rebuild it from looking at it, but that's not supposed to happen. But this movie makes sense. So I love how this movie is orchestrated. And again, if I didn't mention earlier, which even though I'm pretty sure I did, amazing soundtrack. And even with the acting, Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, everyone has even Perry White. Everyone is great in the movie. Like has their own specific part with things like the scene with Superman and Lois Lane kind of having a date in the interview, and then they're flying. Gene Hackman, how he is always freaking, having this power, this aura through just anything he does. He's rich and smart. He's got the best of both worlds in my opinion. But that's what makes him such a good, counterpart to Superman. He's not powerful. He has this though. That's the thing. And you have kryptonite. You have things like, oh, Superman can stop a missile in the air. Well, shoot out 2 missiles. And then there's another showcase of his powers. Things like going back in time because Lois Lane dies. Like, this movie is great, but it was the first one. Like, if you expect it, or if you're like me and you expect it to be big or like movies now, it's not gonna be that way. But I appreciate it for what it is, definitely. But it's mainly because again, I hadn't seen this movie growing up. I saw it not too long ago, but that's okay. I want this on my list of movies to watch. Easily a 9 out of 10 for me. Easily a 9 out of 10 for me. I still love how everything is just. I have no problem with the movie. Not at all. Jor-El is cool. Freaking all these other small characters like Jimmy Olsen. All these things like seeing Metropolis, the whole Superman saving a cat out of a tree. That I love all of that. That's really cool. And it's crazy how Lex Luthor at the end just freaking takes his wig off and freaking says, I'm bald now, but okay, roll with it. But apart from that, yeah, this movie's a good high 9 out of 10. I need to see the second one, but maybe I'll watch the Richard Donner cut because I believe that's better than the Richard Lester cut. But apart from that, it's Benny Boy NYC. Stay tuned for my review for Batman '89. That's next. And hope you guys have a great day. Take care and peace.